All right, guys, so you know how I love to say that the best way to red pill a liberal slash Democrat slash progressive is just to give them what they want, right? Well, we have a story kind of like that, as it involves a Democrat, Miss Angie Craig, a representative from Minnesota. Okay, she's in Congress, and she was violently attacked in her own building in Washington D.C. Okay, and after being attacked, now Angie Craig has basically become a full-blown Republican on the issue of crime, because she realized that these Democrat policies, these soft on crime, criminal justice reform policies, they're dangerous, right? They're the most dangerous threat to this country, like I've been telling you guys for a long time. The most dangerous threat to this country is not so-called white supremacy. It is woke progressive criminal justice reform. And again, this Democrat, she got so traumatized from her experience that, again, she's coming out here sounding like a full-blown hard on crime conservative Republican on this issue. Take a look.
There was no way in hell I was letting him up to my apartment. And so
Angie Craig says she spotted Kendron Hamlin, a man police believed to be homeless, in the lobby of her apartment complex last week. According to police, he was acting erratic, as if he was under the influence of an unknown substance. The encounter happened just after 7 in the morning when Craig bought her morning coffee. A police affidavit says after Craig said good morning to Hamlin, he followed her into an elevator, trapped her, and demanded to go inside her apartment.
that was the moment that fight or flight kicked in.
Police say Hamlin punched Craig in the face, grabbed her by the shoulder and collarbone and near her neck.
All I could do was throw my coffee over my shoulder, which startled him. But as soon as he regained, he came back toward me. And again, it was only until we got to the floor the elevator was headed to that I was able to escape.
When police tracked down Hamlin, they say he kicked an officer and bit a detective. A CBS News review finds Hamlin had a lengthy track record of menacing crimes on and near Capitol Hill. Just weeks ago, he served time for striking a police officer and spitting blood at them. Also on his record, shoplifting, indecent exposure, breaking and entering, and more.
I got attacked by someone who the District of Columbia has not prosecuted fully over the course of almost a decade, over the course of 12 assaults before mine that morning. And so I think we have to think about how in the world can we make sure that we're not just letting criminals out. I mean, it wasn't even in every instance that he got 10 days or 30 days. Many times the charges were completely dropped before any justice was achieved at all.
The alleged attack comes as Craig begins her 5th year in Congress, which has grappled over the past several years with criminal justice reform. And just last week debated a bill on how to better prevent repeat offenders.
We have to get these repeat offenders off the streets. We also have got to figure out how we get people the mental health and the addiction help that they need, because these people are getting back out and they're just recommitting the same crimes over and over and over again.
One congressional proposal just released would require local prosecutors to better track how many criminal defendants have criminal pasts, how many have been given plea agreements, how many have been released to potentially re-offend. As for Kendron Hamlin, he's back in court here in Washington tomorrow, and his defense attorney did not return requests for comment.
Yeah, so what I find to be amazing here, guys, is a couple things. First and foremost, like I said, if you want to red pill a Democrat, just give them what they want, right? Just give them what they want, okay? A lot of these Democrats have come out here and advocated for soft on crime, progressive criminal justice reform because locking black people up is racist, right? In fact, in this interview right here, this newly red pill Democrat sounded very racist, right? According to Democrats, that is. Not according to me, but according to Democrats. You can't call black people criminals. I'm surprised the news report actually showed what the suspect looked like. I'm surprised that they even did interview, okay? But apparently you got to be a Democrat before the mainstream liberal media actually cares about crimes being committed against politicians, because it's not like they really gave a damn about what happened to the 2 Republicans that were killed in New Jersey, right? That were assassinated. Haven't really heard much from the mainstream liberal media regarding that, okay? But this Democrat, though, she gets attacked, okay, in Washington, D.C. She comes out and says, look, we need we need to be harder on crime, right? We need to stop being soft on crime. And she gets a whole ass interview, right? There's a ton of news stories about this. A lot of people covering this, right? Because when Democrats get attacked, that's news. When Republicans get attacked, then, it's something to sweep under the rug because, they're fine with that. They like that, okay? They love that, okay? Again, it really just blows my mind. But, again, this Democrat, right? She saw the light. The way she saw the light is that she had to be a victim of something that thousands of people around the country are victims of before she came out and said, hey, this is a problem. We must have change. When she should have been coming out and demanding change before, right? She should have been talking tough on crime the way she is now before all this happened. Why does it take something to happen to the Democrats before they realize that it's a problem? Same thing when it comes to the border, right? Eric Adams. Now, all of a sudden, this dude is visiting the border, right? This man went down to the southern border.
That was meant to be an anti-claiming device. Okay. All right. We didn't have to require this infrastructure built. It was to be an anti-claiming device. And into the top of the bollards, it's actually like a deed. So they're not able to throw hooks.
And I'm like, okay, so now all of a sudden you care about the border. You think that the border needs to be more secure because migrants are being busted in New York because your city is now suffering from a migrant crisis. Now, all of a sudden, you think that the border is an issue. But before, it was racist and xenophobic and bigoted to basically call for tougher restrictions on the border, right? Again, it's amazing how that works. Now he's busing the illegals out of New York to Canada, to a whole nother country, right? Let alone another state. Another country, he's busting them out. Now, remember, these are the same people that complained and whined about Texas and Arizona busing illegals to other states. He's like, nah, I'm going to step beyond that. We bust them to Canada, right? Again, it's just amazing how this works. So, yeah, like I tell you guys, the best way to red pill a Democrat is to just give them what they want, right? Let them live in the hellhole that they want, okay? And some of them will become red pill. Okay, some of them unfortunately, some of them will move out and then they'll go to another state that, has more common sense and then they'll continue to vote blue, right? So we do have that issue as well too, but some of them do actually change, right? And hopefully this Democrat, has seen the light and it's like, okay, this is out of control, right? Letting criminals, back on the streets after committing violent crimes over and over and over again is not smart. We can't have this, right? Again, it's just a shame that her life had to be in danger for her to actually speak out like this. It's just a shame. So with that being said, it's actually funny because MSNBC, maybe they did this on purpose, right? Maybe they didn't. I don't know. But MSNBC doxed this same Democrat, Representative Angie Craig, hours after she was attacked at her residence. So imagine getting attacked at your residence as a Congress member, and then a mainstream media outlet, MSNBC, doxes your address to hundreds of thousands of people on national TV, right? You can't make this up. You really can't. So let's read here. MSNBC erroneously aired the home address of Representative Angie Craig, Democrat, Minnesota, doxing the lawmaker hours after she was allegedly attacked inside an elevator at her residence in Washington, D.C. MSNBC's Hallie Jackson covered the assault, noting that Craig is physically okay and was able to throw hot coffee on her attacker. But during the segment, Jackson said MSNBC obtained the police report and then aired an unredacted version of the document for roughly 15 seconds. The report featured her private address. MSNBC did not immediately respond to a request for comment. While the police report was visible to MSNBC viewers, Jackson read a portion that said the attacker was, quote, acting erratic as if he was under the influence of an unknown substance. The Metropolitan Police later said that 26-year-old Kendrick Hamlin was arrested and charged with simple assault on Thursday. Chief of Staff Nick Coe described in a statement Thursday morning how Craig was assaulted at her residence. Quote, this morning around 7:15 a.m., Representative Craig was assaulted in the elevator of her apartment building in Washington, D.C., Coe said. Representative Craig defended herself from the attacker and suffered bruising, but is otherwise physically okay. Coe added that, quote, there's no evidence that the incident was politically motivated. Representative Craig is grateful to the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department for their quick response and asked for privacy at this time. Well, unfortunately, MSNBC didn't want to give her privacy, right? They doxed her address after she was attacked at her home. Again, absolutely incredible. You can't make this stuff up. But again, like I told you guys, the best way to red pill a Democrat is to give them what they want. When they are victims of these Democrat policies, that's when they actually finally see the way. It's just a damn shame that it takes this for people to actually see the light, to have some common sense. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.